Good afternoon. I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC News Break. Police are searching for the masked gunman responsible for the aggravated burglary at the Accra Beach Hotel over the weekend. The incident occurred on Saturday night at about 9 o'clock at the Christchurch Resort. The assailant reportedly got away with an undisclosed sum of money from staff on duty. CBC understands that some of them were held up at gunpoint. Luckily, no one was injured in the incident. Two teenagers aged 16 and 17 held after reportedly setting grass fires in Chancery Lane, Christchurch, are facing the law courts today. They are Jed Anthony Taylor of Foul Bay in St. Philip and Tyler Robert Coombs of Worthing Road, Christchurch. The two boys were jointly charged with the offence of causing a nuisance by setting fire to grassland. On Wednesday, police received a report of a grass fire at Chancery Lane, which had to be dealt with by a team of firefighters. Minister of Labour Senator Dr. Esther Bayasuku has now been charged with the task of brokering a deal between parties involved in a dispute that has led to a strike in the sugar industry. Talks over the weekend between the Barbados Workers Union and the Barbados Agriculture Management Company, mediated by Chief Labour Officer Vincent Burnett, broke down, and the matter is now in her hands. The BWU has threatened a national shutdown in response to a decision by the BAMC to make 57 workers at the Andrews Sugar Factory redundant. A meeting between the minister and the representing parties is scheduled for 3:30 this afternoon at the Labour office. Well, Barbados has not yet lodged any formal complaint about the recent decision by St. Lucia to impose new duties on Barbadian products. This, according to reports out of St. Lucia. There has been some concern in Bridgetown about the impact the move could have on some businesses that export products to Castries. Now, earlier, Industry Minister Donville Innes said it has implications for local products that have established strong markets in Castries and the viability of some such companies to continue to export to that country. Others have called on Barbadians to support local products. In response, St. Lucia's Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Commerce, Titus Preville, said Barbados was party to decisions from a COTAD meeting which allowed for lesser developed countries of CARICOM to implement the regime. PSV owners and operators will have to wait for another 2 weeks to collectively voice their concerns about the problems plaguing that industry. This as a meeting which was scheduled for yesterday evening at Solidarity House was called off. Just after 5 o'clock, interim chairman of the Association of Public Transport Operators, Maurice Lee, made the announcement, noting that late issuing of notices to attend the meeting was the cause. At the time, fewer than 20 people had arrived. Mr. Lee explained the association only received confirmation of its booking to use Solidarity House last Wednesday.
Unfortunately, we have to defer the meeting for another fortnight. Apparently, notices went out late. So a few of the members have notified us that they received the notices at the last minute, so they were unable to reschedule to be here on time. So the interim committee met and we made a decision to defer it for another fortnight so we could do some more advertising and get some flyers out to have that meeting around the 27th of this month.
A new Burger King outlet may be coming to Warrens sometime in the future as part of a major development of the area. This is according to businessman Ralph Busy Williams.
We need to put a Burger King at Warrens as well. And that we're now in the design stages to see how we can fit it in. The little problem that we're facing there right now is parking. Having opened the new H&B hardware store at Warrens, it's been very well patronized, and we don't want to have a situation where people come there to shop and they don't have somewhere to park that's convenient and near to the store.
Organizers of Gospel Fest have pledged to do their duty to help boost tourist arrivals to the island by creating a festival with more international appeal. That's why they're pushing International Gospel Fest Choir Competition for 2015. And there's already positive news as they've received entries for the event. Executive producer of Barbados Gospel Fest, Adrian Agard, says this is part of the expansion of the festival, which will be good for tourism. He says they've been working with the Barbados Tourism Authority to attract more people to the island.
To further expand these efforts, we have launched the International Gospel Choir Competition, which is proposed to form an integral part of Barbados Gospel Fest 2015. So in the lead up to that, right from this point on, we will be paying a lot of attention to marketing and promoting that event for 2015, and you'll be hearing some more about that as the festival continues this year. Choirs from across the world are encouraged with this event to participate, and we are pleased to note that submissions have already been received. We'll share more on this development as the week continues.
Well, the spotlight was recently placed on graduate students in cultural studies at the University of the West Indies as they presented the findings of research conducted over time. The opportunity was provided through a half-day symposium dubbed Talking Culture, Cultural Studies at 10. Students presented their findings on topics including funding the visual arts, Gabby and the Barbadian popular music rhythm, and dance in the expression of freedom and resistance. PhD candidate John Hunt, in his presentation, Free to Wine, Free to Walk My Waist, sought to articulate a definition of walking up. He says the act has long been described as vulgar and has not yet been seriously defended.
So Calypsonians in contemporary society, led by Gabby and songs like Waka, have privileged the dance as a trajectory of freedom and resistance. Especially during crossover season in Barbados, musicians have pushed walking up as a national expression. Other songs include Kimberly and This Is Free, Natalie and Chantel's Colors, songs by Little Rick, Alison Haynes, among others. This positioning contests traditional notions that critique walking up as marginal, as fluid, and as indecent in Barbadian practice. Even when the dance is seen as an important official Barbadian signifier, these discourses about walking up challenge national perceptions of decency.
In Jamaica, 2 journalists who covered the recent murder trial of entertainer Vybz Kartel have received death threats. The Jamaica Observer newspaper says its crime court desk editor, Carl Walker, received several threatening calls on his cellular phone after the paper published the latest article on the case on Sunday. Meanwhile, Nationwide News Network said its reporter-producer Abka Fitz-Henley has also received death threats after the radio station aired the voice note that were used by the prosecution during the trial. Kartel and 3 co-accused, Sean Storm Campbell, Kahira Jones and Andre St. John, were found guilty in relation to the murder of Clive Lizard Williams. The voice notes were taken from Kartel's phone. Nationwide News Network manager Cliff Hughes confirmed the threat against Fitz-Henley, saying he had written to the Commissioner of Police asking for the necessary guidance and protection. Over in Trinidad, the murder toll climbed to 128 so far this year as police investigate the murders of a young couple at a fruit stall in Valencia. Police there say Tristan Proudfoot and his wife, 21-year-old Narissa Phillip, were shot multiple times by unknown gunmen who later escaped in a waiting vehicle. Police said the killings may have stemmed from a recent altercation between Proudfoot and another man who is well known to law enforcement authorities. Meanwhile, police have given further details in Sunday's incident in which a 33-year-old father allegedly murdered his 2 children before committing suicide. They said Barry Karamath gave the 2 children, 10-month-old Omari Bubba Mears and 3-year-old Kiana Kiki Mears, a poisonous substance before ingesting the substance himself. He was experiencing domestic problems and took the children from their home after their mother, Okelia Mears, left to go to work. A bottle of herbicide believed to be gramoxone was found near the bodies. Over in Guyana, a woman remains hospitalized in a critical condition after being stung by a swarm of Africanized bees. The mother of 2 was air-dashed to the capital, Georgetown, early on Saturday after she was experiencing anaphylaxis shocks. The 28-year-old was farming when she was attacked by the bees.